welcome to
Okay.
Her Story Unscripted. I have the honor of having Amelia here. We actually we first physically just met. Well, I guess virtually just met. We did have a phone call. But that's what I love so much about our community and the people who support my podcast is they're like, oh my God, we have someone that would be so great. And you were connected by our friend Kelly. And I instantly, when I met you, we have so many things in common, and you're right here in Sonoma County, and we're all plucking along doing the same thing, and I just can't wait to dive into your story. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
super.
excited.
Yes, me too. So tell the listeners a little bit about who you are. I said you lived in Sonoma County, but a little bit about the work that you
Mhm.
do. I always like to have people say like maybe your age and where you sit in life as far as like kids and that kind of thing.
So I'm 42. I have two kids. I have two daughters. One is 19 and one is 4. So one's in college, one's in preschool. We're doing two very different worlds simultaneously. And I'm an esthetician. I've been an esthetician for 17 years. Um, but I definitely do things a little different over the course of my 17-year-long career. I've changed things. So I don't think I'm your stereotypical esthetician in how I treat and go after the skin
I love
issues
that.
you might be having.
Well, and it's so funny
Mhm.
because I'm sure the evolution of things, right, have changed so much. 17 years is a long time, right? And skincare products have changed. And I think there's this whole conversation around perimenopause, and that's something that where
Mhm.
we're both sitting in right now is like a new thing that's being talked about. And so I'm sure
Yeah.
that has changed how you show up for your clients.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what we thought we knew, like that's how just how science goes, is like what we thought we knew 17 years ago to what we now know has just changed. And we're constantly learning and evolving, which is why I really like my field is I am forever going to be a student and continuing my education in this world because it's always changing. And you have to stay on top of it to actually be able to help your clients and really understand it.
That's what I
So
love
yeah.
so much. I just had someone on who owns a like she does hair, and she was even
Mhm.
just talking about the evolution of things and the different treatments that there are now and like how much hair and your scalp impact your health. And you're coming at it on a lens of skin, and I know that that is
Mhm.
like a big thing for us now with like the sun and what we're putting on it and how we treat it and how we take care of it. And
Yeah.
so I think I love somebody that's consistently wanting to learn and adapt because I think that's what we have to do. Talk about like the
Oh yeah.
services that you do now with your clients. And do you have you have a brick and mortar, right? You have a salon somewhere?
Yes. Yes. I'm off of Airport Boulevard, so kind of near the airport-ish,
Okay.
not at the airport, but on your way.
Okay.
Um, and so, I mean, I do facials, of course, like that is a big thing of what I do. But before deciding, it's not just facials, and it's not like, oh, we're just going to do, oh, you want a hydrofacial? We're going to do a hydrofacial. Is that really what your skin needs? So I'm really big on the consultations. That's like my
Mhm.
favorite thing to do because it's an hour long consultation and we go into everything because the way I look at it, there's 7 major systems in our body that play a role on our skin. And so I ask questions trying to figure out if any of these 7 major systems are misfiring or having some sort of, they're stuck in some way, right? And then from there, I will help guide them in what they need to do in the treatment room, skincare, like product wise, and then also what they might want to look into addressing outside of that world. So, for prime examples, like one of them is like your nervous system.
Mhm.
That is a huge one that I think gets overlooked. So, there's a lot of questions. Kind of like on what's your stress level? Are you overwhelmed? What do you do for work? Are you and I don't just straight ask, are you overwhelmed? Right? Like there's kind of questions that we dive into. to see,
I
but
feel
as
like
I'm
every
getting
woman's
more,
like, yeah, I am
yep,
overwhelmed. Yeah.
100%, yes.
Yeah.
But all those things will play a role in your skin, and they'll show up in certain ways. So I'll see um, things maybe on the skin, and I'm like, and I can instantly kind of be like, oh, that could be maybe this system or this system. So the nervous system, it's going to show up a lot like acne, rosacea, eczema, sensitivity, delayed healing. But then there's also like one of the other systems is like the immune
Mm.
system. And that will also show up as eczema, rosacea, redness, sensitivity, reactive skin. And so sometimes when people see that, they might just instantly go to, oh, it's my immune system. And they kind of start tackling that. And I feel like the nervous system always gets pushed to the side, like, oh, that's nothing. Everyone wants to detox in the gut. And I 100% say like there is the gut skin connection, but it's everyone's first thing to go to. And the
Mhm.
nervous system, I notice, is definitely the last that people tend to look at when they're sitting there going, oh, my skin is not doing what it used to, or it's having some weird reactions. And so that's like probably my biggest one that I've really honed into over the last couple of years, because I was a prime example of it. I was looking at all the other systems and ignoring the nervous system. And then my own life kind of forced me to be like, oh, guess what? You can't ignore this either. So that's a lot of what my consultations are of like really getting into what your lifestyle is doing that could be affecting your skin as well.
I think so many people are coming at it in that like lens because I think there is so much,
Mhm.
we're starting to find that in our bodies and our hair and our skin and what is our normal, like what is our life, what's impacting us in our life that is showing up on our
Mhm.
body. And it's so funny, like nervous system, I feel like every conversation I have is about nervous system. And it's like this new thing. Everyone's like, what? Nervous
Yep.
system? Do
Yeah.
you help coach women on ways to, regulate that nervous system? Do you work with other, people who are focused on that? What is your like, I guess, what's your
I
opinion or
help
experience on
guide.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, I help guide. So I have a lot of connections with in all of these like um 7 systems that I kind of have in my brain. That's just how I do my consultations. And so in each one, it like say it's their digestive system, it's their hormone system, it's their nervous system. It doesn't matter which one it is. There are things that I can suggest, I can guide, I can offer. Oh, this person might be able to help you, especially when it comes to nervous system. It's going to be so tailored because what calms me and what is like my self care and your self care could be totally different.
Mm.
And sometimes I think that the world is like self care needs to be like bubble bath, or you need to do like yoga. And like, don't get me wrong, those things are great, but it's just another freaking to-do list. And sometimes self-care is sitting your ass on the couch and watching trashy TV. And you want to have a glass of wine, have a glass of wine, fine. But whatever it is that like really lets you shut off for a moment and fills you up a bit. And it's not meant to be a checklist of something else I have to do. So I dive into like, what are you already doing? Because everybody has something that they're like, oh, this is my self care. But what's funny about it is sometimes their self care is causing them stress. And I'm like,
Mm.
well, why are you doing that? And they're like, well, because it's supposed to help. And I'm like, but do you feel better after, you know? And then I do try and incorporate that into my treatments, right? Like I am doing things to help relax the nervous system during the facials. Not just facial massage. I do this thing called tuning fork tuning on some people. Have you ever heard of that?
No, what is that? I want to know. I need to know.
So it's this hippie little thing that actually, full disclosure, I am not fully trained to do tuning for like, because if you are a tuning fork master or whatever they're called, You can do a million different things with it. That is not me. I know how to do one thing with that, and that is relax your nervous system. I take your system out of fight or flight and relax the vagus nerve. That just while you're getting a facial. Um, my sister, I have a hippie sister who I adore, and she is fully trained on that and can speak to that. And I made her train me on one thing to do because I wanted to incorporate something because I really do think the nervous system is so important. That I can do while they're getting a facial. It's not an add-on. It's not something that you pay for. It's just you're masking, and it's this. I should have had it with me, but it's this metal instrument, and I hit it, and it vibrates, and then I go on different points throughout the body. And again, the one that I'm hitting, it's doing nothing but relaxing your vagus nerve and kind of taking us out of fight or flight that we unknowingly are in like all day long.
What is the
Most
vagus
people
nerve?
are.
Where is that?
Well, technically it's vagus nerves. People are always, and
Okay,
it goes down your body.
got it.
But I even do it. I just call it the vagus nerve, but there's two on the right and the left side. And it communicates with everything in your body. And it's basically the thing in you that's going to cause you to be in fight or flight. That's kind of
Oh.
telling you like, hey, we're being chased by a bear, or calm down. And it can be a very helpful thing to your body, but sometimes it can be not.
Mhm.
And so, um,
It's so
yeah.
interesting you said when as soon as you said healthcare or self-care, everyone always goes
Self,
to a bubble bath. Like even when you
yeah,
said the word, that was the first thing in my mind was a relaxing bubble bath with
yeah,
like candles and Epsom
yeah.
salt, right? You know?
No, some people are just sitting in a bubble bath being like, what am I doing in here? Like, can I get out? Like this, it's like, if that doesn't fill you up, don't do it. And sometimes it's also oh, I'll text you. There's a girl on Instagram that I follow, and I don't know how she found me or how I found her in my little algorithm, but she's cool because she kind of gives these ideas of what actual self-care is. And it isn't like one of hers is like sometimes self-care is dancing around in your living room,
Hmm.
like screaming music or like screaming the lyrics to your favorite song. Like it doesn't have to be this checklist, this thing, another thing to do. And it doesn't have to be cool.
I just wrote down like self-care should equal joy, and it should be
Yes.
whatever the act is that like brings peace or brings joy or brings this like moment of like
Yeah.
release of energy. And so like I just thought of that when
Mhm.
dancing, or I'm a big component of getting a facial or a massage or a
Mhm.
pedicure or things like that because it allows you to just be and to like do something for yourself that's going to like better yourself, but also like especially as a woman to like shut your brain off. But people think
Exactly.
self-care is drinking a glass of wine, and when you said that, why are we doing the things that
Mhm.
make us feel like crap? Why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's whatever that's what I'm saying. Like yours and mine are going to be different, and that
right.
is okay.
Totally.
Um, so yeah,
So when
so it's
you
fun.
with all the women, I'm assuming mostly you're saying women, come in,
Hmm.
what is out of the seven, are you saying nervous system is usually the highest thing that women need to focus on, or what would
Not
be some others?
not necessarily the highest. I think it's the one that people forget about.
Right.
And or like women, I do 99% of my clientele is women. And so over the last 17 years, I've really learned that women tend to, by nature, be caretakers. They take care of everybody else. They don't take care of themselves. Half of my job is explaining to my clients that they deserve to be here, that they're allowed to take care of themselves, that it's not selfish, that they're not being bad wives, bad moms, bad insert whatever. And like you cannot be there for someone else if you have not first taken care of yourself. Like, funny enough, my dad told me this and it stuck with me, but he's like, you're like a cup. And if you don't fill your cup up with water, you don't have any to give out to anybody. And you have to like remember that. Um, so I would say nervous system is one that I spend a lot of time talking with women and almost just reminding them that it's okay to be, I think we're getting better as a society with that, but like it's definitely something that women carry around a lot of like just guilt with that, which is weird. It's so weird.
It is so.
And it's been labeled as vanity to take care of yourself by going and getting a facial, which is just so far from the truth and drives me. And there's actually a study that was done where people who like that whole look good, feel good is
Mhm.
so, so true. You heal better. Your body will heal if you are um, taking care of yourself and look in the mirror and feel good about what you see, like, so it's a form of health care. It is a form of taking care of yourself. And instead it's been labeled as vanity. And it's like one of my biggest pet peeves. But besides that, I would say hormones are a huge one. The hormonal system, obviously, with women, our hormones, I think it's like something stupid, like 3 days out of the month, we're normal, like our normal, our
Feels
hormones,
that actually feels very
so
true.
true.
Yeah.
I know. The more I learn, though, I'm always like, "Ugh, guys have no idea. They could freaking never." It just drives me crazy because they're just always like this.
Uh-huh.
And we're like
We're
this
like,
and
"Woo."
just hanging on for dear life. I'm like, I always tell my husband, I was like, I'm fighting for my life right now. Okay. I
Yeah.
know you think I'm just sitting here, but no, I am fighting for my life.
Yeah.
And
And
so,
I'm
and
fighting
it's,
to show up better for you
yeah,
and everybody around
yes,
me.
exactly. And I
Yeah.
have guilt about this. Okay.
Yeah.
So just let me be. Like,
So true.
but like one of my little forms of self-care is 100%. I love watching reality TV. It's just, I can zone out and I don't have to think. And so I'm always like, don't mess with my self-care time.
I don't know about you, but
But
reality TV makes me feel a little bit better about my own life sometimes. I don't
it
know about you.
does. And I want something mindless. I want something
Yeah.
that I can just shut off.
Yeah.
But so with hormones, women, again, primarily my clientele here, you go through puberty, then there's the PMS, then there's the perimenopause, the menopause, and then, there's even thyroid issues that can get thrown in. I mean, our hormones are sensitive little bees that
Yeah.
just constant, I mean,
And then you're pregnant,
it's,
and then you're
and they're pregnant.
postpartum, and you're breastfeeding, and
Oh
your
my God.
periods are all out of whack because you're getting back on cycle. And
Yep.
yeah,
Anybody who's pregnant or had a baby in like the last year, I just feel like give them whatever they want. They're going through it. Like it is so much work to be pregnant. And then especially that first year. I mean, technically it takes 2 years for your hormones to go back to normal post
oh,
having a baby, but it's like that first year, sleep deprivation, your body's not even yours. And that was like the big, oh my God moment when I had my daughters, is it was like, I'm like, okay, 9 months of being pregnant, really more like 10, but whatever. Like, then the baby's gonna come and it's gonna be fine. And then it's like that labor, you're like, what the hell was that? And then when you're like, okay, I just gotta like heal from that. And then it's the fourth trimester, which no one prepares you for. And then even like you get through that and you're still just like, I still don't feel like my body's my own. One, I'm feeding a child with my body, so it's really not my own. I'm not in control here. And then but you're just it was such a shock to me of how much you are giving up and how much of yourself you're going to give, not even just physically, but emotionally and mentally. So I'm always just like, give the pregnant girls whatever they want.
yeah.
you know, have, have it all.
Not at
We need
all.
to talk to people about that.
Oh my God.
So
What do
yeah,
you
those are
think
probably.
the two? I mean, I feel like those, and especially at our age, those are the two that I feel like are just top of mind in general for
Mhm.
us. What are you seeing as a woman of our age? Because I'm going to say our perimenopause era, because I feel like that's probably most of my listeners and most of the people that are in
Mhm.
my circle and community. What is like the one thing, or maybe it's a couple things that someone can do? Obviously, getting facials is important, and I want to talk on that in a minute, but like on a day to day to take care of their skin.
Oh, that is a good. Okay, there's a few. Um, Prioritize sleep. Sleep is
Mm,
going to be one of the biggest things. which I suck at and I'm getting better. I have to actively work at it. I have a whole routine, but I would say sleep is probably, especially because with perimenopause and menopause, our sleep gets messed with. I don't know if you're experiencing that, but it's just our once your progesterone, I always say it wrong, starts to
Strong. I
drop.
me too. Yeah.
Progesterone. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, my friend Cher is going to be laughing at this when she sees that because I never say it right.
Oh,
But
me too. I'm
anyways,
always have to think of it. I'm like, but the P one, the P
yeah,
hormone,
the
whatever
P
that
one.
is. Yeah.
Yes. Um, you just like sleep is so well, and that also affects your nervous system. So if there was only one thing you were to do for your skin, I would say sleep, prioritize it, which means, so for me, it looks like I have to watch my caffeine intake. I have to like I do a whole process. I dim the lights. I take magnesium. I do like a sleepy time tea. It's like a whole song and dance. But that would be the biggest thing if you were just to do one thing outside of it.
Sleep.
Would be
Yeah.
sleep. Yep.
What else?
And it's
I know
free.
you got like a couple more. I know you got a couple more.
Oh yeah, there's always some. I mean, of course, staying hydrated. I feel like everybody says that, but it is important. But don't forget to like put a lemon and maybe a little bit of salt in your water because a lot of people drink water, but then they're not actually putting any type of, you can do an electrolyte. I just am not the biggest fan of electrolytes. So outside of facials and skincare, what else would be a really good? And then of course, managing your stress, which
Mhm.
is such a, you almost want to like laugh when people say that because you're like, okay, cool, let me just manage my stress. But that is really taking the time for yourself. So what I've noticed and experienced too is this time in a woman's life, perimenopause especially, right? And menopause, they're going through so much outside of just perimenopause.
Mhm.
Because statistically, you're either got aging parents, you might have young kids, you might even, sometimes you can even have kids leaving to go to college, and it creates another layer of stress. You start to, I don't want to say like question your mortality, but like people start getting sick even at your age, right? Like, or at our age. And it's like, it can be a very, very, very stressful time. Plus, you're sort of at the peak of your career if you're working. So you're dealing with so many things up in the air at once, that not handling your stress and taking care of yourself is going to trickle into so many other things, but for sure your skin. Our skin is one of those like communicative organs that some people just are like, oh yeah, I just throw products on it and that's it. And actually your skin is communicating with you. It is connected to all these other systems. I mean, it's throughout your whole body. And it's going to tell you, not always, but it can give you clues as to, hey, we've got something going on. Going back to the nervous system, because it's like just the one I don't think gets talked about enough. The skin and your brain were literally created in the same exact spot when we were just a bunch of cells, right?
Mhm.
And then they split apart. And that is why when there's like that skin brain axis, it's a real thing. So when it's just like in a very simple thing, when you get nervous or you get embarrassed and you blush, right? That's your
Mhm.
brain. Your skin is now reacting. It can do it in other ways. So, and I think, not to go super, super personal, but how this wasn't something that I just was like seeing, reading in books. I actually experienced this myself. And that is where and then started to pick it up on clients and be like, why is my industry not talking about this as much?
Mhm.
3 years ago, my best friend was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And I did what anybody would do and went into best friend mode and was there and am still there. Um, but was unaware of that that stress, that pain, that whatever that it caused me, what it would do. And my skin had a full blown, it was doing things it wasn't normally doing. I literally broke my barrier. And it became inflamed and red. And I'm an esthetician of 17 years, and I'm going, what is happening? And that is when I started to realize, like, holy crap, even though I'm sitting here thinking I'm taking care of myself and I'm doing everything, and and it's fine. I've been more stressed than this in my life. Um, no, there's such an emotional uh, and mental component to it all. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of women we just go. If somebody we love needs us, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And as it should be, but we have to remember, like, we can't give away everything and not be taking care of ourselves. And
Because
that's like
you
what I
gotta keep
try
the
to do.
cup full.
Got to keep the cup full. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's kind of my goal and hope. I want my clients to be coming into my space and leave feeling like they got their cup filled in some way or another. And sometimes that's us just like talking, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's being completely silent and just relaxing, whatever it is that they need. But I definitely learned through my own experiences how important that was. And I don't think people are talking about it.
Mm-hmm. That's why this platform is here, so we can talk about it.
Exactly. Yes,
I'm
I love it.
curious, how often do you think, I mean, do, you probably would tell a woman they should come every month for a facial, but we all know financially sometimes that's harder. What do you
Mhm.
recommend how frequent somebody comes to get a facial?
Honestly, you can do it whenever you want. So once a month, it would be the people who are like, this is my form of self care,
Mhm.
or I have this issue going on and we really got to be proactive in the beginning, right? Um, Otherwise, I have clients who come every other month. I have people who come quarterly. I have people who are like, it's my birthday treat, and this is what I do for myself. So and that's also part of my consultations. Like, yes, we can get so much done in a treatment room and we can get things done faster. But it's not always the end all be all, and it's not the necessity. Like, I can set you up with things you can do at home that are going to get you the results that you need for your skin, right? It might take a little bit slower. I think some people think, oh, I don't have the time or the financial means to be in there once a month, so I'm just not going to do it. And that's not the case. You don't have to be in my treatment room every month to see results. And most of it, I mean, let's be real. You're going to see me once a month. It's more what you're doing at home. It's more your day to day. And so that's why consultations are my favorite, because I'll sit there and be like, okay, what is your day to day? And what are you using on your face? And that's another thing that I do like to really talk to people about, is like the products that they're using, because not everybody, we've all fallen for it. We've all like fallen for the TikTok trend or gone into Sephora and bought an array of shit where, like, I don't even know the
What
order,
it
what I'm
is.
doing, what's this for?
Yeah.
And it was still really expensive. And you're like, well, that's great. And you don't need 20 products,
Mhm.
you really can. So I like to be like, okay, what matters is what you're going to do. So I'm like, okay, what is in your realm? How often can you be in here? How much time do you have morning and night to devote to doing your skincare? I do try to push romanticizing your skincare, because I think it's important. And for women to just take 10 minutes, lock the door, tell the kids, your spouses, like, get out and take 10 minutes or more, whatever you can do. And so I'll give them like tips and tricks on how to just make that moment a
Mhm.
little bit of self-care for themselves. Um, but yeah, you don't
That's
have to come
interesting that
see
you said
me.
that because I've been very honest about I never used to wash my face at night. It was just one of those things. It was super annoying to me, especially like if I
Mhm.
was drinking and I was like too lazy to
Mhm.
take my makeup off. And luckily, I've always had healthy skin. I should probably knock on wood, but like my skin has been not horrible, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But ever since I started doing a self-care routine at night, I actually love my self routine, my evening routine so much better than my morning because it's like
Oh yeah.
washing my face and putting all the layers on and putting beautiful lip gloss on. And I felt like, and I spray with this like mist thing and I feel so much better. And I was thinking about this
Hmm.
last night as I was doing it before this, and I was like, I love it so much better then and
Yeah.
it's like my
Oh
10
yeah.
minutes of and even though you're going to bed but you feel so like your skin feels great, your face feels great, your body's like relaxed. So that's been something that I've been like incorporating on the day to day. From that I'm wondering, I mean obviously there's so much we can do, but is there like two or three things an evening routine or like a product that we must have? And I know that there's again the
Hmm.
amount of products out there are insane, but like certain things like
Yeah.
a moisturizer or eye patches or whatever
Mhm.
you think can just move the needle just a little bit.
Yes, there's a few. I like night so much more too. One, so when you do skincare, AM is going to be protective. You're going out into the world. So it's like your vitamin C, your SPF, you're really just protecting. Nighttime is where you put the stuff that's going to actually promote change. And so nighttime is the one that I'm like, if I were to like, I trust me, I've had clients to where they're like, I'm only going to wash my face once a day, pick. And I said, then you're doing night, like I'll meet you where you're at and eventually get you where I need you to be. But like, so nighttime, if you're only going to do one, which is going to hurt me a little, I would still say do night. Um, and at night, you want to be going to bed like a baby seal. You want your face to be really shiny and full because as we sleep, we go through what's called transepidermal water loss. Everybody goes through it. And that's why sometimes like we sweat at night. It's really weird, but obviously the older we get, the worse it gets.
That's a real thing, yeah.
And so yeah, right. So you can wake up and you're like, how did I sleep? And my skin looks dehydrated and dull. And it's because you are actually getting dehydrated throughout the night. So you want a lot of moisture on your face. So a really good nighttime base moisturizer is one of my favorites things to do. A lot of times what I like to do, not everybody loves this, so this is going to be, although I will say it's probably my number one selling product is this oil. And it's a nighttime oil that you would add on top of your moisturizer. It's called Nourish by Osmosis. And not everybody's a big fan of it. It does leave you really like of oils, I should say. But I will say my clients, I think it's everyone's favorite. Um, so that you really want to be very, very moisturized. Um, and I am a big fan of adding some skin tool. I personally have like 6 of them. You don't need
I'm
that many.
sure.
And I just change, right? I'm like, what do I feel like doing today? So I'd say my top 2 favorite ones, and again, you'll find what works for you, um, would be either facial cupping. So it's these little silicone cups, and it really helps to move with like your lymphatic drainage. It feels really good. It releases tension in the face because that's a whole other thing that I could talk about, like how much tension we carry. So that's something I do offer, and we do like in office, I'll even do the buccal massage where you release the tension. So facial cupping can really help with that. Um, and then there's this other tool. It's called the Epic Skin Tool, and it's these. Again, I should have had these things. It's this. They have 2 little balls on a stick, and you roll it
Oh,
very, very gently. So, and it kind of has these tiny little, I don't even want to say needles because that's so not, it's so gentle, but it just helps to kind of stimulate the circulation and have the products go in a little. And again, there's something to doing a, using some sort of modality. I love to do at night. It's my favorite thing. People like gua sha, they like the like ice rollers. I love those too, but I would say my top 2 is the Epic Skin Tool and then the facial cupping. But you'll find one. So any type of facial manipulation to do at night is really cool because our skin on our face is actually connected, um or not skin, I'm sorry. Our muscles on our face are connected to skin, not bone, like they are in the rest of our body. So you don't work them out the same way. How you work out your facial muscles is through facial manipulation, massage. That's why sometimes I get a lot of people asking me like, is this all a trend? This like facial manipulation and facial yoga and like massage. And I'm like, no, actually it's 100% something you should be doing. And it doesn't have to be an hour. I mean, you literally can do 2 minutes a day at night, whatever works into your schedule.
Or while you're watching your reality TV, you can.
Or while you're watching your reality
Yeah.
TV,
Yeah.
anytime you fit it in wherever you can. But those will be a big game changer
I started
for.
using like they're like frozen balls basically, and
Mhm.
they're just so soothing. Like it's so
Yep,
relaxing, and I'm like, oh,
it
now I
is.
just reminded myself I need to do it more often. But I'm like, it's in the freezer downstairs. I'm in bed, but just doing it right before bed. Thank you for that because I
Oh
think
yeah.
we all think we have to have all these products and we have to have all the newest shiny
No.
things. And again, not all products are created equal, just like all diets are not created
Mhm.
equal, and everyone has to be customizable to what their skin is. But just even just
Yep.
those things of just being more aware of and adding it. And I definitely highly recommend creating an evening routine because it is like game changer.
Yes,
And it
it
probably helps you
is.
sleep
It.
better.
You'll look forward to it. Hmm.
Yep. Yep. I'm
Exactly.
like, when can I take this makeup off my face? As soon as
Literally.
possible
It's
now.
like my favorite time.
Yeah.
My favorite time is PJ time. I'm like, yes.
We used to get excited
Yeah.
about putting makeup on, and now we're like,
I
when are we
know.
going to take it off?
Yeah. Let
Yeah,
me just be.
I
So,
love
yeah.
that. Is there any other like skincare routines or products or things that, again, because most of my listeners are women, that they
Mhm.
could implement in their day to day that we didn't talk about?
Okay, well, there's two things. One, I am a big believer in doing a weekly mask.
Mm,
So, and that could be another little fun thing of self-care that you can make fun however you want or just add to your routine. Um, I also, well, not to go on too big of a tangent here, but sometimes in the world, I will see people who are over exfoliating their face, and you don't need to be exfoliating your face every day super aggressively. But once a week, do it. And it doesn't always have to be an exfoliating mask. It can be a hydrating mask, it can be a calming mask, a soothing. So I'm a big component on that. So finding a mask that's geared towards you and your skin concerns and or goals, I think is a big game changer. And I know that this one's unfortunately like said a lot, and some people just might want to like roll their eyes, but it does matter what food you're putting into your body. So like taking into account like, am I getting my like fruits and vegetables? Am I eating enough protein? Oh God, and protein is so annoying right now. Like how much protein they expect people to eat. I'm like, in what world? That's all I'd be doing all day long is
can we just have a
eating
pill
protein
that
and
gives us
drinking
the
water.
100 grams that we need and just be done for the day? I mean,
I
yeah.
can't. I'm like, oh my God, it's so much. But there is I am a big believer in like I just think eat food. Look at majority of your meals and are they actual like whole foods, right? So it doesn't have to be anything super crazy, but it plays a big role, unfortunately, on our skin.
Dang it.
I wish I could tell everybody, nope, you can eat in and out every day. You'll be fine. You won't. Your skin will show it.
I have to
So,
ask, I don't know about I get this a lot from other people, but like I don't break out, but every time during the month I'll
mhm,
get one. And
mhm,
it's always
mhm.
literally in the same exact spot. Why is that? And how do I get it to go
Well,
away?
so hormonal acne, which acne, hormonal breakouts, let's be real, if it's just one, um, it does hang out on the chin. That's just where it likes to go. And why it happens is actually because your body is preparing for a baby
Mm,
and it boosts up all these hormones that boost up your oil production. And then when you don't get pregnant, it drops down just as fast. So it's like literally, so it goes up to the highest point it's going to be. You get all this excess oil, and your skin's like, what the hell? And so then little breakouts can happen. And then when the pregnancy doesn't happen, it just plummets down.
mm.
And that is why when men want to say women are crazy, it's like, do you know what just happened inside my body? Like, what? And now I have a pimple to
Like a
show for
hormone
it.
roller
Like,
coaster in there. Like
don't test me right now. Yeah.
they're like,
So
oh,
no.
she's
But
got the friend in town. We better go
mhm.
somewhere else.
So I mean, that's actually something that's really that I have found really helpful. Tracking your cycles, which is also
Yeah.
kind of annoying and another freaking task to do. But when you can be like, oh, my period's coming, like I'm at this stage, you can then kind of help ease that by doing like a charcoal mask, a sulfur mask, or some sort of to help with the oil production, right? Maybe just to soak it up a little bit during that. And that would be the mask you'd use that week if that's an issue. And so that's something we talk about, like when you come in for consultations. If you're like, I always get these breakouts, they drive me crazy. Then I'm like, all right, let's start tracking your cycle. When we get to this stage on that week, this is the mask you're going to do, and just it's all connected, unfortunately. So paying attention to your body will really help.
But what I love about what you're providing as, an esthetician is not just come in, let's put some product on your face, give you a quick massage, and you're out the
Mm,
door. You're really like
mm.
diving into their day-to-day stuff and how they can improve, which is again all the things that we constantly keep hearing at us. We just need to pay attention to it and listen to it
Yes.
and implement those like little things in our day-to-day. I'm really excited to come get a facial with you because I
Yes.
could use some
It's
pointers.
yes, it's my favorite thing. I really love like I just love that I get to talk to women all day long and hopefully help them feel better about themselves in any way. And sometimes, I mean, it looks different. It's not the same for every client. And so I'm never bored. And it's actually, as cheesy and corny as it sounds, it's very rewarding for me.
I love
So,
that. One thing
yeah.
that you had mentioned was about your friend who has been battling breast cancer, and this was kind
Mhm.
of like a wake-up call for you. If
Mhm.
somebody was listening and is going through cancer or chemo or radiation, obviously you've, kind of been in it with your friend. Um, do you recommend facials? Like, I'm sure a level of self-care is like on a whole nother level, but like
Mhm.
to help them, what in your experience, like make them feel better, what do you recommend?
Mhm. Yes. So I have had the pleasure of having some very amazing, strong women come into my treatment room that were battling cancer. And I unfortunately know way too much about the topic. Um, and so, yes, I would recommend it. It comes with a bunch of asterisks. It would be a conversation we would have of where they're at, what they're on, what their treatment looks like. I have a line that is 100% like oncology safe. More so, what we're doing in those types of treatments is some lymphatic drainage, a lot of relaxation, a lot of hydration. The chemo, unfortunately, takes away everything good and bad, and you will see your skin be affected, unfortunately, by cancer treatments because it's going to be dehydrated, it's going to be dull, it's going to be reactive and sensitive and doing things it's never done before. And then in some cases, even when you're done with the fight and everything's said and done, your skin is never the same. And then we've got to kind of adjust. So, yes, I love being able to hold that space for people. But it would be something we would definitely talk about. They can't do anything. Because they're in a very vulnerable, fragile state, and their skin is too. But yes, definitely that is a form of self-care that you can do that I am educated on. I'm actually even in the process of doing more education on oncology and the skin. But it would still be something that we would be doing as a team, of everything. And I'm also really lucky. I have my one of my other sisters is a infusion nurse, so
Mm.
she administers chemos and things like that. So I do have access straight to a doctor that I can get information from if needed, like, hey, she's on this drug, blah blah blah. And of course I'd have her be talking to her doctor, but yes, facials are definitely something you can can do, but I wouldn't recommend just booking anything and going anywhere. You want to
I was
have a
just about to
conversation, a
say, I feel like
consultation.
that could be just like a unique niche for you, right?
Hmm. Oh,
Because
100%.
for everything we just talked about, but then also because you have the understanding of cancer and the treatments and all of that. And yeah, you're right. You shouldn't just go anywhere and just hope for the best because there is so much
No.
behind that. And so I think that could be
Hmm.
something I love that you're
Yeah.
learning and leaning into that.
Oh, yeah. It was something that I'm not surprised that I'm leaning into just because it's really weird, but cancer's just been has affected my life in more ways than I would care. Um, all my grandparents passed away from cancer. My mom had cancer. Obviously, my best friend has cancer. I know I have other friends that have had cancer. Like it's insane. And when I was little, I used to like save up my money to give it to the American Cancer Society because I was like, we got to figure that shit out. And then, like in high school, I did my senior project on the American Cancer Society and everything. So it's not surprising that now I'm sitting here going, oh, maybe I'll do something straight linked to this because my dad actually was like, I thought for sure when you grew up, what you were going to do was going to be something in the cancer world because it
Mm.
was just something that I had cared so much about getting out of my life and everyone else's life. So, um, it is something that'll probably be coming more in the works. I definitely still do it, and it is something that we talk about, but it'll probably become something even bigger
I
because
would
it's a place,
love to
it's
like
something that I think they need.
100%. Like I just think, you and I were chatting offline that I just found out that my best friend has colon cancer
Mhm.
at 44 years old. And I would love to get into this conversation, but for the sake of time, maybe we'll have you back on. But I do
Yeah.
think it's like as a friend who wants to support a friend, it is a very unknown territory and how you show
Mhm.
up and how you support and what they need and what they don't need. Like I think unfortunately because of your experience, you've learned so much about that, but like what an inspiration you could be to others to like help them through that, whether that is somebody that's battling cancer or a friend or a family member that's supporting them. And
Mhm.
so it's wild how those things kind of show up in our lives. But there's a
Mhm.
reason why they are. I always believe that there's a reason why it's
100%.
there. And even like the
Yeah.
day that I think you and I chatted, like I had just found out. And then
Yeah.
like I found out someone else just, it's just crazy how the world works. But I think that
Mhm.
is something that is much needed in our community. And
Yes.
yeah, because it's,
Well, and as someone who has played the supportive role, um, I think it's very important because naturally we'll just be like, oh, nothing matters in comparison, right? Like it doesn't matter what I'm going through. My best friend, my mom, my whoever is going through this, like almost like we don't matter. Like nobody's saying that, but we put that in our brain of like, oh, we gotta go. And that's another thing that I do like to try and hold space for people is like if you're the caretaker of someone in any way, it doesn't even have to be in cancer, right? But like being a caretaker for someone and holding someone's hand through the scariest, hardest moment of their life will also take a toll on you.
Mhm.
And it's okay to then say, I need to reach out and I need someone else to help me while I help this person. And and that's something that I don't think I didn't see it getting talked about a lot. And I kind of wished I had somebody to talk to of just like, what do I do? Like, am I doing this right? Is this okay? Like, am I, I did a lot of trial and error and thank God my best friend is like my soul sister, like person. Like um, it was different, but it's still very hard on the person going through it with someone and they sometimes feel guilty if they need help,
Mm,
right? Because they're like, well, screw what I'm going through, this doesn't matter. And let me just say it does, and take care of yourself too.
mm.
So
So
Yes,
good.
it's definitely a conversation.
For sure. What's next for you? So obviously people can find you if you're local to Sonoma County. We can come and get
Hmm.
an amazing experience from you. I love that you do consultations. It's not just like just show up and get a facial. It's much
Hmm.
more. But what's next for you? Like obviously we've talked about a little bit, but what's next?
Well, what this looks like is still to be determined, but I have a need, a passion, whatever, to give people all the information I have. I feel like it's so weird. Like there's so much that I have learned that sometimes I think it's common knowledge. And then I realize, oh no, it's
Not
not common
everyone
knowledge.
knows.
It's just that this is what you've been doing for 17 years. So I am in the works of creating something, I don't know what yet, where I can hopefully share my knowledge and it be just something to where everybody can have access to ways in which they can help obviously their skin. That's what I know. That's my wheelhouse. And it plays obviously into other things, but that is probably coming soon. We'll figure that out. There's some things in the works.
I was like, podcast is always a great way to talk about your story and all of the things. But yeah,
Oh
I love that
yes.
for you. I definitely think you
Yeah, in
have a
another
thing.
life.
There's something like
Yeah.
there's something good there, and your knowledge. And it's the same for me. It's like when you do something for so long, because I've been in hospitality for 25 years and growing
Hmm.
relationships and building businesses by growing relationships. It's like I want to tell everyone how to do the things because I don't want to just like it's not what I'm passionate about now, but like there's so much in there that could
Oh my
benefit
God, yeah.
people, you know?
Yes.
And it's like, where, how do you get
And
that out of you?
how to get it out.
Yeah,
And yeah, so there will be something. So follow along.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's one bit of inspiration or takeaway or something that you want to leave the listeners with today?
Oh gosh. In what aspect of just life? Or
Life.
just
I mean,
good?
you've been through a lot. We didn't even talk about you starting over. You have a
Oh yeah.
15-year-old and a
Yeah.
4-year-old. Me and you could talk about that for days.
We
But
really
just like
could.
what you've learned, I guess, over your career or what you've learned going through, this journey with your best friend. I'm sure you
I
got something
think
good in
that can
there.
kind of apply to anything or any aspect. And don't care what other people think. Do
Mm,
you? And I think it's so important to just be the main character in our own lives
mm,
and quit trying to be smaller than or like afraid to do anything in whatever aspect that is, right? Just be
you.
unapologetically yourself.
Mm,
And and it can be easier said than done. I think the older I get, the more I'm like,
we don't give a
you know
fuck.
what, screw it. This is what I am. Like,
Yeah.
take me or leave me. But like, and you can't be everyone's cup of tea, right? So I'm just like,
Yep.
if you're my people, you're my people. And if you're not, like, that's okay.
I
I'm okay
wish
with
that
that.
I could have like the I don't give a shit mentality that I have now and that it's
Oh
getting
my God.
worse and worse. I wish I had that
Yeah.
when I was in like high school.
I would have taken over the world. Are you kidding me? Like the things I could have done. But no, I
And it's like
was
we're trying to teach our daughters
waiting.
that, right? Our teenage
Yeah.
daughters. You're like, who? No one cares. Like, mom, don't do that. I'm like, no one cares. Literally, nobody
Nope.
cares.
Nobody gives a crap.
Yeah. Do you?
Exactly. Do you, boo? It's just the sooner you learn that, the more you're just gonna be
Yeah.
fine
Yeah.
and really be able to do everything. So,
I love that. I think that is a beautiful way to end this because again, I don't think enough women are doing that. And unfortunately it's the older we get, the more we don't care. But if we could just speak that truth from the beginning and, show up unapologetic, like who we are authentically, unscripted,
mhm,
like so much good things can happen in the world.
agree. Very much agree.